I've recreated the example you've given me in a document, going English to French. I don't know where you were going to, but it seemed sensible based on the little examples you gave us. I've machine translated it, so we've got incorrect translations in here. So for example, you can see the first one's actually right, but the second one, that should be a comma 3. That one's right, that should be comma 8. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, some of them are right, some of them are wrong. So I'm going to show you my settings and how it should work and that it does work. So I'm going to go to File, Options, Editor, Automation. So in the Automation, I've just made sure that it's applying the best match after a successful lookup. I don't need to change anything else there really. In fact, I think that's defaults really. I just reset it. Yep, that is the default settings. I go to my auto-propagation. I've enabled the auto-propagation. I don't need to worry about confirming to or auto-propagating to confirm segments because all of these are draft. They're not. I've got a feeling that might be default as well. Yep, that's also default. So I'm only using the default settings here. So I click on OK. What I have done, just to make my life a bit easier, it might be useful for you perhaps, and I'll show you this now. I click on the view. I set up the Regex AutoSuggest Provider, and I've just created a couple of rules, just very quickly, just to make it easier to get these solutions. And it might be, it's not essential for this auto-propagation, by the way, but it might be an interesting thing for you to see. This is just a free app from the App Store. So let's look at this first. So the first one is exactly right. So I'm just going to confirm that one with Control Enter. And as soon as I do that, you can see it's corrected segment 3, segment 5, and segment 6, and segment 8. They're all now correct, 100%. I could have had them confirmed, but I just chose not to do that. So that worked, and that was correct. This one down here is completely wrong translation based on what you want. You actually want the pattern de, I don't know how to say ee.oo. But what I'll do is I'm just going to tick this box down here to activate this rule, which is just going to make it easier for me to do this first one rather than type the whole thing out, so you can see how it works. So when I type the P, you can see, in fact I can type capital P and enter, and it's just translated the entire thing for me exactly correctly as I wanted it based on this rule. You don't need to have this for this to work. I just wanted to show you the Regex AutoSuggest Provider because it's pretty powerful and can save you a lot of time because you can create rules to do the translations for you on numbers of things. But anyway, now I've done that first one, I can just confirm it. So I'm going to press Control Enter, and it's gone through and done the rest and correctly replaced all the numbers and things in those. So with the default settings, this seems to work. Now, I can't see what you're using or what it looks like, but perhaps being able to see my screen will give you some ideas, and perhaps you can explain what I'm doing that's different to what you're doing, and then it might help us figure out why it doesn't work for you. I hope it's helpful anyway.